Amen. Constituency boko.
Obi. On say empembebre no ebe din se obehia penyi a wanya 80 years. Ye argument wo wi asinema ho no so ye bi. Odinani hwe din. Obedu 80 no. Na wa honema bebre. Obi nyame adom me nyinsa na so we third election a
oko.
Meiko. Because of them ama hunti no edwumaden ni mpaibodin asa.
Yeah.
Na wa hwe de nyame be.
Yeah.
Nti so far no ye nam ye wo former ye edwuma. Lejukuku delegates no. In fact, enye only lejukuku delegates. Who can be no na me try say ya accusation so be ma 100,000. Unim. President Kufuor, ye papa. Ne yire, may she continue to rest in peace.
Yes.
Because Rano. Na ya me kono wa. I think he's one of the people that obi who didn't bonko wa. Na advice in the council them we deep. Until 1 week no me man ko ewia. Me ti test ye bought say 5-6 no.
And I'll call
Me call ye. Na sata udura normally na nkrofo no ko. Na wanya space kakra.
Okay.
But me bonko mo. Advice by what can say doctor. E form ti say me say oh Mr. President. Juma. Me friend of former president. Mr. President. I say doc. There's one thing. Let the people know who you are. And that in politics, when the people know who you are, somebody can give 10 times more than you, but they will give it to you.
Yeah.
So, Sebi delegates are almost a hobby. Now, make remember countless examples. Obia tua more than in your delegates and for mano. You demand you want to have a brain. Now, I think I'm quite interested about delegates. He said, "Omo mpese obe take it, omo support no for granted." Enti min delegate obe meka say doctor, yepewo. Now so yabomodi na APP. Who say when they like you, they are even real with you. Enti obi Sebi said Dr. Koboy, you call election. Now delegates dudu no epe doctor enti. The ordinary kono say omonji 200, omo fafa Canberra. Na doctor dey me buy no me say o inshiran kwa na me di mochi once the crown mom so fafa car. Even those who like you go like doctor bibia e pepe ana. But in the reverse,
yes,
if obi be ma 20,000 each, na nyame boa me na me nya 1,000 kra say o mumfa we ndidi on the day they will give it to me. Are you get what I'm saying? So President Kufuor's statement is to tell us say money is not all. And so this election economy, the majority of the delegates, they will take whatever people give them. Look, President Joma Dramani Mama. People, I heard someone who was complaining, oh, yeah, 30 cedi and 40 cedi, but in Sanka. If Dufour had come and Dufour had given 4,000, if Mama get 40 cedis, Mama would have won the election.
Sure.
Oh, because in their party, you don't need to be a prophet or you don't need to have gone to Presec to see, say, his support in the party. Oh, said never be ahead. This is a work school. Papa be like these are double also. Obi, but one copy sec lego cry. It should be obvious to you. Say JM is overwhelmingly popular in the NDC. So if Dufour had brought all the money, he would have lost. So this election because Sebi omo wait. It was through a party. Medium wait. Small.
Yes.
The only thing I know is that the majority of the delegates would give it to the one or more free self who had the fortunes of the party in this country. It will be from Yaboko. Now me pacho we a party here me pacho obi. Udo bi dodo. Na usuban eko ema ebusuanu ye fia. Sa odo no nyina be ekwa.
Obi topic na Okuatia no.
Omi na mo show no eno na ya me di me party fofo said ye nyina na Ekosiisen ebi Ekosiisen ni say ye petumi di ama wa brabo akonenim ama krom asisi kro development and empowerment finished. I tell them, so sometimes then why do you think you are in this politics? Are you here because you want to go and preach salvation? You are not in the church. Are you here because we are raising money to do community? It's not a credit union.
Yeah. Politics
is about working righteously towards power and using the power to help both community and those in the community. Finished. And the say now when utuma onua na wini wie na power na mba ejuma no kosi sen obi enti nipa once a while no kasa no to be cost but this must be the guiding principle enti na me principle me can be ati obi no na obi ko kasa tie obi na ochina ohia now most of the time more often than not all people who reach the level of presidential primaries omo wait obi yes me by me funny people wait in their grow if na me more wisdom the only way to work as atiano ochina bi no pen no kita the key to your success.
Your success, it's true.
Now go kasa tia kotona 2 weeks time 2 years time na ebi a share kasa akotona ma advice on who to take o go fine.
Yeah.
So obi yeah MPs grana former MPs na sometimes yeah my front seat no obi our former minister presidential candidate. So let's all be calm obi.
Very well.
And in all this you are an elder. There is only one person who knows the end from the beginning. Obi, sometimes I tell people Christianity has a way of making people behave in a matured manner.
Yeah.
If you believe that God knows the end from the beginning, why are you doing giddy giddy?
Yeah.
Because the end has been determined. But hard work must play so that when the results come, you know that really this is what was determined above. It's only when you become lazy that in the course of time, the will of God can change. And God does not regret if you are lazy and things change. And that's why Elisha had to work hard to get what he wanted. You know, so Obi, let's be calm. Let's be calm.
Dr. Bernard Okoboy and Moten and Kano Malik Basentali. Now it's saying
Obi nyame de ache.
Bibi aboko.
Enye boko cry be fanasa. Me nam kwa so ebe.
Yes.
Me wonse we are first introduction of panelists.
Okay.
Obo Dr. D. Obo mi din opo se kakra sre. Me ma dwen se me ban na first question na me to we. Se adenti edienti na obo mi din a. Opo se kakra.
Opo se kakra na oyedi a. Oye sound me.
Because was Basentali. Opo se esre.
Oh, Charlie.
Esa to aso.
Oye brutal.
Obi. Madam nyina ase. Mechia minua penyi Okoboy.
Yes.
In fact, Oko politics to some extent. Yeah, many joho. Because senior kai no most often than not tono boase echren semu having a mind on one reputation and on one integrity.
Sure.
And so I wish to commend him on that. On to also na baby a no onka say ye baby enye no so no onka say enye e won one party mo like he has just done. Now minim say topic na I shall say.
Yes.
You see, most importantly, me pese ye be situate the entire discussion around nyokaye any asema onosokaye. Number 1, nana kumia ene ka na asem. O say ombema John Dramani Mahama the real showdown.
Sure.
And Baumia be defeated President Mahama. This was his sentence. And I'm a boy. Now, before Obi betu anamo say obetimia case su pi say on one candidate betimi e defeated the candidate of the opposition party no not just on one kasa tena dem e the 1 or 2 issues e the tudwa ayi on one strategic analysis before original su pi say on no candidate no, and in this case Dr. Baumia
sure
betumi e defeated President Mahama. Even before I come to that, or make it a very, very, very false statement, and I wish that you be correct. I said that was. Also, Dr. Baumia will become a new face.
Also, he will give the MPP a new face.
That's wrong.
I didn't hear.
Totally wrong. Obi Abba Alebaraka. Dr. Baumia, they say anymore. When we talk of, unless his understanding for who a new face will be, it's different. Yeah? We can even assume, say Kennedy Japan will give the MPP a new face. We can assume to some extent because Ken on your pointy on the strategic policy decision making table of the government on or no, the decision is to a particular board.
Sure.
And has nothing to do with the entire economic corridor of the country. Inti, you bet me assume me to some extent say, a new face. But you are a former agric minister. There's no way we can arrive at a conclusion say, a new face. Not to talk of Alhaji Bawumia or no and de ye this he is still at the helm of affairs. He is still in charge of the economic situation and de ye nyina for me. Enti say what twetwem komo na say wo say Dr. Bawumia bema NDC showdown because of a new face of the NPP. It is neither here nor there because it is a fact say John President Mahama any new face. It is a fact. Alhaji Bawumia also new face. It is a fact. Once we arrive at that fact, then we can go into details as to their merits and demerits.
How about those who say, sir, President Mahama is president, but Bawumia is president?
You will still have to judge them based on their economic fortunes.
Okay. And
both of them, fortunately, are more wholly the helm of affairs as head of economic management teams. And that is why me, I want us to do the analysis of President Mahama's first 4 years. Abra no yet vice president to Alhaji Bawumia because what they the 4 years or year man penyimpo kan ho dia, they won't be able to stand that argument. And yeah, on one casano there are some very discerning ones they come into terms with that. One, Alhaji Bawumia, we have concluded now on your new face. President Mahama and your new face. We are going to now have this discussion based on the fact that Alhaji Bawumia Edim Kunim as their flag bearer. Because even as we sit here today, Obi and Nim showdown wa ebekoso. Na sa time na Nana Kumianka say use no a your opponent and a use against Omo in the upcoming election. Until they have a first showdown to face on November 4th. Before thinking of the showdown in 2024. Omo tra showdown we are, then we go into that discussion. But importantly, there are 3 fundamentals. Ono Nana Kumia, Ocean statement he made assertions to the fact that Dr. Bawumia is ceremony. Na John Mahama also is ceremony. Which meant that on one comparisons no, Niedikai is based on tribal and ethnical lineages. On one analysis, you can read this for it and the interview. 1, Dr. Bawumia is ceremony. No correct. John Mahama is ceremony. No correct. In this modern era, and Dr. Koboewaha, you know, say based on ethnical affiliation to them. But there must always be an addition to that. And that has to do with their wire and their mother. And that is why I wanted us to put the facts any new faces in our minds before we progress in this argument. The first question we need to ask a day and on why they are Muslim for. 1, President Mahama. Obiani say the long-standing Fofolso Solar Route. Na President Kofo in 2007. Beshe ye boso obeye diamaye. From 2004, 5, 6, 7. On repeated instances. In fact, the final Bosha MPP for the share, omu the grader, the convoy nechi de baho. I remember said the Denda Mangora. Omo de natana grade and also the papa ni chinsa so mwakate sort for that project. Papa ne nyumre na asthma sorry. They had to rush him to the Tamale Teaching Hospital because of the dust. Convoy in freedom and weko Obi, the grader followed it back to Accra. And we never saw that route being repaired. President Mahama Nebaye, as vice president in 2011, for that road to be started. In fact, President Mahama Ankasa and the Asobe form. And sana major project, $510 million African Development Bank loan facility and on the year. That is 1. Number 2, Tamale Teaching Hospital, phase 2. Matana Tamaleda. And minimum say all the 5 northern regions, now your central hospital and the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Because Obiawa on a region from Bolga, Wa, and all other surrounding communities, you ma referral. You may become a referral to the Tamale Teaching Hospital. And suddenly you have the Waba and cry if they are unable to handle the situation. President Mahama Nedjene or Jene who said if this is a central point hospital for 5 northern regions, and they will hear say, you be pija amana drew standard. Be saying yeah, they won't refer you from the Tamale hospital again to Komfanoche and Kolebu. If they are referring you, then it means they are taking you out of the country. The hospital was revamped and brought into a regional standard hospital. Ankane oxygen machine. I thought that the oxygen be the whole hospital you only have about 1 or 2 machines working. This was how they were rationing even oxygen machines. Today we have over 50 oxygen machines at the Tamale hospital, all because of the good works of President Mahama. In the same northern region, the Tamale Airport, phase 2. Baraka. I thought that Omuangaza Bezo Movias are project. President Mahama and a Koji loan facility they be expanded the Tamale teaching hospital to the extent. The Tamale Airport, I beg your pardon. To the extent, say, in 2016, the hospital was given an approval to become an international hospital. And that was how airport. I beg your sorry. And that was how comes Obe Kaya in 2016. The first Hajj pilgrims flew direct to Saudi from Tamale. So okay. Yes. President Mahama and a holy flag no, they see that particular plane off. Never been see that from 1957 till date. President Mahama and today that hospital has been completed. That airport has been completed and fully functioning, and every northerner around there gives
but
credit.
The current terminal, that is to the credit of this administration.
It is not.
Right?
It is not.
They can't terminal for front.
No, said nothing in our project now.
Oh, how?
That was the phase 2 facility. It was. I beg your pardon. I'm coming. Hold on. It was phase 2, phase 3. The difference between a local airport and an international airport are simply
the runway.
Absolutely. I just want to explain that.
No,
so you understand.
Nobody debates that. The American terminal, the terminal building in America.
A building that was built under their administration should mean that it is a project.
No. What I'm saying is, as you said, the extension of the runway.
Right.
Emma. The flight me happen
from a local
was
to an international.
A John Mahama. That there is no
right.
Question. I mean, say the recent terminal building for Frona Amatamale Airport or IFN. It is way more that's what I wanted. To
loan facility ben
Oh, the UK government loan facility.
About bay. Yeah, the commercializing bay.
The UK government facility.
Yes, and about bay. I'm asking them. They should tell us. Loan facility no the commercializing bay. And on what prove it and as you can say that is how we must situate the arguments. And we see Obi, I mean, in all of these discussions, the entire northern population, if they are going to vote on ethnic lines, will be to what both parties have done for them. As simple as that. And Alaji Baumia, be bien ho.
Why ye were not
and why ye ama a bois the entire northern jurisdictions. Dr. Okoha, and I'm here. The only thing I was so was a company that started in 1997, Motokin Recycling Plant. Almost on the car, 1 district, 1 factory home. That is what they said they have brought. Number 2, we will need to test both candidates based on their competences and in terms of the economic fundamentals and fortunes of this country. 1, both of them as vice presidents. And if you want to use the various commodities to do examples, now fango ya tono say 1 gallon. In 2012, now ya ton fango 1 gallon at about 5 cedis. A gallon of petrol was about 5 cedis.
14.
No, I said 2012, not 2016.
Okay, 2012.
Okay. So, we'll say based on vice president. In 2012, was about 5.6 Ghana cedis. Yajifri Kufon 3 cedis. President Mahama, as head of economic management team, had the 2 cedi 50 pesos per and account. That was in 2012. Now, and then, as vice president, Alaji Baumia, same head of economic management team, you hand over man at 14 Ghana cedis. And the Tofango say 1 gallon. Almost 80 Ghana cedis. I'm ready to make a cream podia. Now I can hit 100 cedis. That is petrol. Dollar in 2012. Now it's a dollar back up at about 250 pesos to 3 Ghana cedis. More a toda more na more say a Jifrico for the Maya at 1 cedi, $1 mebwa. So for 4 years of President Mahama as the head of economic management team, yeah, they just 2 cedi 50 pesos and a card the dollar rate on. You hand it over the Mabaumia at 4 cedi 20 pesos. And the dollar is a son of say 11.5 Ghana cedis. In all of these comparisons, then we have the final one. That has to do with the integrity and credibility of both parties. And I thought that I know the Ghana for sure mupa. Then I walk here. Ni awoka America create muno. Wait me di so. Dr. Baumia, yes so a new face no. Why na share your boss every constituency benya $1 million? Why na share your sabono? Dr. Baumia, he stated it verbatim from their manifesto in 2015. Why na share your boss as at June 2017 said dollar no ya cheer tumu and the dollar will never find its way out of that of jail again. Dr. Baumia, and the dollar is saying why na share your boss said they will reduce fuel prices drastically in this country. Dr. Baumia, and the fan go 1 gallon. You're talking about 80 cedis. Why not share your boss say all our roads will be converted to concrete roads? And then even the motorway are now a concrete road, no? Yes, it's they are called asphalt. So which means that instead of giving us more concrete roads, or more concrete, no, even back to the asphalt way. Why not share your sabona when this so? Dr. Baumia, inti yebeka boshe bebrea, Dr. Baumia, share your when this so. Then we arrive at a conclusion, say, your vice president, I hear one, the open man, Penyedino, or you can't open it. We didn't trouble Brea, and then we can state them and ask that with this so and now on this way. Into Obi, that first statement by Nana Komiade, I think, say, it doesn't hold water. And the earlier they take that out of their minds, the better for us. Unless they want to tell us that they have other methods they are going to use in winning the election for him, which of course will not materialize in this country.
In 2024.
In 2024. The final point has to do with the monetization. Nienti amansha si free hona se omo ankasa na accuse omo ho. Enye ndisi fo na eka. Ni ayeye hu de yeye hu pe. Say and omo elections bi omo koye. For the first time obi the Uber car score so okocheche. When we need osas one ade by. For the first time, for the first time in this country, you will so be sworn motorbike score. When we need us one idea coy. Things we had never seen occur in elections in this country. For the first time, you wonder the MPP. And then, the recent Special Delegate Congress. Now, Dr. Baumia cheche 100,000 each. Ebi mumpo di omo Navara pickups. Ebi mumpo di Prados. And they are not just saying it. Almost the photo ni videos evidence, you know, actually, can they Japan you video evidence and a pictorial evidence, and they are telling you people say, Jessica, and the monetization is becoming unbecoming. And what hurts us? Yet my for your woman, and I say, there be a more and musu say muniska. There be a more and musu say there's not enough revenue being generated in this country. Now, so Ekodru say, more yisika. Na mumfanko ye politics, mumfanko to votes, ending kunima dia. You are able to do it, and that is why to quote Professor Frimpong Boate, osimbu se mundim, se mo Alhaji Baumia on one accord obetime dim kunima. Why are you giving him shock absorbers? E den tina mo man ladder, e den tina mo support no. Mo munim so ye powerful. Munje no mu. Na mo hwe nia all other presidential candidates. De be ye no e wo man.
Mamenase Malik Basentali and Amoten Kano, Deputy National Communications Officer for the NDC. In the northern part, no free area, being Buipiana, Damongo. Okay. Into Malik Binduri. Damongo should be northeast
Savannah.
Region. That's Savannah. Okay, Savannah region. Yeah. Thank you. Mema Dr. Okoboy Emrem. Doc, on this particular issue, but I was just checking something. So, Oshe on 22nd August, Malik time, Dr. Baumiako BA Tamale airport na and phase 2 project. Ni poster on the page. Or say I commissioned the Tamale International Airport phase 2 project in the northern region today. Facilitated under the auspices of the UK Ghana Business Council, established in 2018, which I co-chair. The project is part of government aviation sector infrastructure development program designed to expand the frontiers of the aviation industry and to make Ghana the aviation hub within the sub-region. I cut the sword for the project in 2019. Works undertaken at the airport include an approximately 5,000 meter squared expandable ultra-modern airport terminal building with annual passenger throughput of 400,000, a multi-purpose terminal, which is a Hajj facility, 5-kilometer single carriageway access road, a 330 capacity car park, a technical hub to manage electricity, wastewater treatment, and other essentials, as well as other ancillary facilities. And the features of the new terminal building include a VIP lounge, 2 boarding gates, 2 self-service check-in kiosks, 8 check-in desks, airline offices, and commercial retail areas. The completion of this ultra-modern terminal building, together with a multi-purpose terminal and other ancillary facilities, are expected to provide the needed impetus for increased economic trading activities to reinforce the status of Tamale as Saharan hub airport for flight, blah, blah, blah. Our thanks go to the UK government and UK Export Finance, who reacted favorably when we proposed this project along with the Commercializing International Airport for funding in 2018. Those are the facts as the Vice President put out.
For which phase of the airports?
Phase 2.
Okay.
Phase 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would, before baby,
sure,
I would give you the contract agreement between Ghana government, GOG, and Quires Construction Limited, and the facility that was supposed to be used in it. Then today we would conclude on this platform, say, Dr. Baumia Eyen Kuntumpuni.
Very well. Mamintie Dr. Okoboy. Doc, answer our panda Chinese cuisine. You say Ekosiisen here for the Mate Panda Chinese cuisine for some time. Your only Chinese restaurant in Ghana that serves the highest quality Chinese meals at less than half the price of other Chinese restaurants. Inti Oko Panda, Eboa Ebia Obeto. Your friend is saying. Fried rice, assorted, papebi, Chinese dieno, boa beton or other Chinese restaurant, Panda, half the price. We offer delicious egg fried rice and vegetable fried rice, accompanied by your choice of beef or chicken in green pepper sauce, beef or chicken in Sichuan sauce, beef or chicken in brown chili sauce. So you enjoy our finger-licking oriental spring rolls, golden fried shrimp, steamed dumplings, assorted soup noodles, and a variety of deliciously assorted noodles. Pride, and it's a satisfying dining experience. Panda Chinese cuisine, brutal. Freya every day by 11 a.m. Na place your lunch order for your Chinese meals. Say event be now everything. Just call us and place your order. Number will be free in here 0240 903988 0240 903988. Oba ye a cozy 10-seater area for private parties with your family, your friends, regular restaurant space, a 35-seater restaurant space. In the Panda Chinese there, SWNE and Sao Katre, Ashaliboche School Junction. Follow us on social media at Panda Cuisine. Kaibio number obe Fred ya place you order no 0240 903988 0240 903988. Check with your time at 39 minutes after 5. Doc.
Oh,
yes.
First of all, no, mommy, and chair me wafa. My catcher will say me wo. Me ni post be on no share me kakra. Ti me farin di agro. Me Rose Minister.
Oh, okay. I'm a quarter.
Me uncle. Me na me the last born. Ena makache wa about wafa amakwata pebe e was a member be mamisu akosia honorable Frima also by chief of staff midanasi for all the council and care. Now Obi,
yes,
mini aji say and we share discussions now here about what we are here ama said the conversation here around the no e boa o man no e ma say bi omo tie no say hey we mami say we say okay me pe we chen we bet me more no brofo beka say the end is only benefits and you say you be but you say wa ho ndi ti saying that's what politics genuinely should be about. Now Nana Komia can say new face but me will be like a new face to the party no sebi and yet the literal new face I just say you know that or my way more and our party no. But if you check stricto sensu no, the one who has carried this party from 2007 since he was made our flag bearer to 2024 effectively if we do this primaries in November the leader virtually will start leading us towards the end of this year. So everyone is always starting 2024. Obi, from 2007, look at the time span, 2024. And why?
The president now.
No. He's the face. He's the one sitting in the chair. Me, by the grace of God, I'm privileged. I've sat in meetings where Nana, President Etna Ho, COVID meeting, the task force, no. Nana Tramwa, Onoye chairperson, the vice chair, Dr. Baumia. We can do a meeting at one shot. Sometimes I'm not going to say, oh, VIP, like, you can come in. Because he's the man in the chair. And whether you like it or not, leadership, in the real sense, the boss is the boss. When I say the boss, is the one who sits in the chair. And then just so advice you don't matter, no. But he's the driver. Now, oh yeah, mate, driver to me can say, so much me bar. And then just say you are the face of the car. So Obika say about me Nimna is not true. But so Obi shall say the face of this party for close to 17 years now. Nana, it is incontestable. What they all try to remind even the party people, they say, once Baumia now is the one who is at the table as chairing meetings as the leader of this party, no, it is Sebi, although the same party, no, and Enkoye 100% he said, Nana, but what I say, it will be a new experience for you to actually sit in a meeting where you don't find Nana, but the one who you are working with as the leader taking you to the election. It will be some new experience. But what I say, good. Now, Obi, one thing so I can say, you see, Baumia is not a lazy person, and I'll tell you why I'm starting this way. Alan was in this party before Baumia came, and people create the impression say Sebi, and now people my woman Obiana ultimately came. Dr. Koboy, I have close to 1,800 delegates in Ejokuku. Obi, one constituency, 347 police stations. Out of 1,008 in Obi, I don't even have 100. Dr. Koboy, former deputy minister, current CEO, I don't have 100 that I can call on the phone that I am telling you, go and vote for Baumia Kennedy. Obi, I don't have the power. I'm trying to bring your mind to something. Party now, the real power is in the hands of people who decide on what they want to do. And the last time I reminded Ghanaians and said, Saspa delegates who dissect here. Close to 80% of money appointees. Constituency chairman in the 275 constituencies. Who can party for 1 year Juma or former chair? It will be weird to meet a chairman who has not been a full soldier. Politics and anything. Most of the time, I call it a periodic, a seasonal. And to be discuss although young name no party no form, no about candidate, no enter parliament, no a channel or channel. But when it comes to executive positions in the party, like chairman, organizer, and they took 275 of such people to go and vote at the super delegates. Obi, they took people who are how do you call it, former members of council. Obi Hakman Osajima, senior Michel. Now, who can be before one job party? President Kufuor you know Mukaswa delegate. So these are not people who bet to be the cane. Like as soon as a system now, Obi, can you do that? You can't. Now, so if the majority are on their own, and Baumia, like I said, Alan was in the party before Baumia came. How come that these people who are independent, the majority voted for Baumia? Obi, I know him. It's a dint of hard work. Obi, make hard worker. And you grow. I know one elder. I made in share. Our party no. Oh yeah, council. In fact, me body the boy. Council of MPP, Council of State,
Council of Elders member.
Sorry, Council of Elders. Okay. Obi first time I hear bon command about me, dimbe mu. Na ne kasa na I said here, hey, na ya chew. Party no ya check kra na. Ono no, yen bon command me fear kra. I say yen bon command. Obi, me tena odi. The next time me call no, oh no, I want to say, Papa no, of your future. When I'm saying, now then I see. Say now, Baumia on his own, based on feedback and intelligence or picking up. What concerning that bon come changing the vision for the party and how a human relationship. Obi say Papa no share me. No be say Unipa no say no. Never say. So the point I'm making is that it has taken hard work for him to come this far. And that's not to say Kennedy has not worked hard for the party. Kennedy too, how come he also overtook Alan? Obi. The man Kennedy, we say Kennedy, election way obey tough. And he say, Papa na me can say no. Me go sra no see Kennedy ban fear na jo. And I'm say, hey, Kennedy I can't so stubborn. Obi, o see Kennedy ban na o catch me say, Kennedy no bon come for more than 1 hour. He must support him. And I say, oh, no wonder the two of them came as the first two. They are really working hard. And see, Obi, the point I want to make clearly say, the party people normally will watch Obi Awaye Juma Ding. Obi, I originated with them. And so nobody told me better. And see, the issue of money in the man, I use JM as an example. Because I had 50 CD, 40 CD, Ube free senyeska, but guy no madina no. Anko obuni ba on, uche video no. See JM and small my debut kakaba, man for transport no. And as I speak today, I know a regional executive in Greater Accra as ask no ma fa ntino. Ingo for chom so meto amu. NDC regional Obi. No space for small money in NDC and in MPP as well. I just want us to be honest in our discussion. Say, Sebio, na Dr. Koboy Murefi, ya interview obi wole jokuku. Said anything I want to about me. Or see, COVID time in Breno, beans, any rice. Now, so not can tomatoes in count. And also, I'm count. And a sikase be fry no so count. So the whole system needs some with time. Normally, it takes some time. Yeah. But our prayers that comes to say, my prayers that will get to the place where Obi got to a bar. Obi say we substance or kita. Then na why da. Then I sure bet me. Now I'm sure very soon get it. My brother come about Tamale Teaching Hospital. What President Mama, former President Mama has done for Nothingness and all that. I can also go on and on about what we've also done for Nothingness. Now, key amongst them, this issue of making sure that everybody has access to high school without paying. That's why Northern Center, there were quite a number of them who were already in that bracket. But Obi, nursing allowance. My cousin did that when I was in university. I used to call my twin sister for support. In fact, it got to a time I nearly regretted for doing medicine, Obi. When I came to realize, my twin sister, a man is every month, Obi. School now is easy. Until I'm in tears, I say, me medicine, me nyashi, and nurse, my sister, 37 every month or allowance. But the point I want to make is that some people are today still in school at the tertiary level as in nursing only because there is subsistence coming from government. Now, I think it will be weird. Joy, Mu brothers, Joy News. Share the one district, one dam policy. The assessment was that some of the dams were virtually gone or useless. Some were under serving their purpose, as in papa, but some were doing well with the farmers. That's what I say. So, any narrative that creates the impression, say, we have not done things for the North would also not fly. But many abotere me per se yen November 4th. And one thing I thank God for is say JM is also not a new commodity. A new face. Obi. And the analysis now there. Obi. Remember, ya say Sebi, Nancy and Obi sending me power agreement Kwabena don't sign here. Justify why we needed emergency power. It was 2015. Only never okay. Or see the load shedding is wrecking the economy. Okay. Me can recent document me library me yen makakrana. Me nim kwa fa me nim. Kwabena don't call some power GCPC some power agreement.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Obi. Now I grown on and me kai and I'm say Niama Bako bench MSAPA. 2015. Now the sitting president was our senior brother, James. Now Kwabena cabinet minister actually say the economy was under heavy how do you call it, burden. Really under pressure because load shedding no hano. Now load shedding, there was a boss in charge of the country. Now during this time since you know me call parliament as MP. Governor no invite you Addison. Addison everybody say na Capital Bank na on your problem no.
So picture Mike.
Everybody say na mutimi far close to 500 and something million Ghana cedis. That my banker ono onbo ni niam onbo na ma obi. Na odi man so one got tra one fa administrator. An got tra was say on measure scan yi.
Asempa FM.
Kepisa governor o say enye bibia na betimi aka ho. Sabi Niama Kosu Bebre, now BSD, Banking Supervision Department. No more litany of reports. I just say all these banks, you know, and the banks had to either close them or put them in, how do they call that? Another entity to run.
Oh, okay, like administration.
Yeah, they had some technical term they use when they've not closed the bank, but they give it to a body to run to see whether it can come back. Exactly. Okay. Now, you know the governor is a political appointee. And although he's handling the monetary, somehow, he reports to the executive head.
Sure.
Obi.
Sure.
And if the executive head, Security Macrano, is all allowed, and Nukra can let, now, and then, Mr. Maye disappointed Kakra in Dominic, the producer. Only say, yeah, there's this talk that, and the MPP has come to collapse the banks. A narrative, a rendition, very common with a lot of communicators and war opposition. Now, usually one person say, Uncle Dafiasi, because millions of Ghana cedis were manning Ashweguno. Now, one contributed to the collapse. You know, one day I sat and said that I blame our like Misuma, your party, or this government, because if we had been expeditious with the trial of some of these people in the banking sector, say Obi or opposition can't say na collapse. I mean, the court judgment the wedding. But until you do that, a man said here, oh, church, and the point I want to make is that there were some serious deficiencies, there were some serious incompetencies, there were some serious underperformances. I know creating big holes. IOB had to inherit and try to bring us up. Now, just as my brother is very good at telling us how things are now, say November 4th, now my shisha mi kratano obi. Also now they make it documents now so me shisha no me professor me shisha ni ye. Obi so what I say?
Yeah.
First ni clear. Now I feel the say contest say na eda. Now
last point
I never say obi. I got mad. I got mad because Unim Solomon Kansa.
Yes, Unim Solomon.
Solomon Chow. Na me who watch it. Solomon Kansa, Amuyomo promise will end this. Okanema about some of the weaknesses in the party. The woman it is.
Oh, that be. I want to be attentive. So because me follow all that.
Obi ari the woman sorry. And say no, but tell extra. You come here di your party one. Or the piami. Mr. Woody and my recording announcement to body say after November 4th, Obi. The body now go to bed.
Dr. Kubo any training canon. Ekosiisen is the higher Sempa 94. Okay, Game Park Limited the Pick 4 game about me pamuchel phone afa dial *946# *946# on all networks and select 4 numbers from 0 to 9. That's how you play this game. Obe selected 4 now in the friend of the Pick 4 game. You can do the selection even on their website gameparkgames.com, and as well downloading on app from the same website now where you swear no so they are we are live draws neighbor so Adum TV, so 9 a.m., 12 noon, and at 6 p.m. every day, Monday to Sunday. And let's play this game and cash out on some real good mola. Game Park Games, or say more mola and more power. And a man for a diwa dance here, pa. Me patro say we need 18 years, we know enya dia we also do eshim. It's regulated by the National Lottery Authority. More and more per tank ato na mo dia store nsuo ofie. You can for Syntex tank the mamo Syntex tank and found the color of tank our per Syntex will be guarantees be our PBR Syntex will be inner layer our per say double, triple, quadruple nina Syntex be amount. And remember say no matter your water need, Syntex has got you sorted. Syntex tank no aje so strong a tough. You have over 300 agents nationwide. To order a tank, just call 0244 335 168 0244 335 168. Na only any encommoni and pay a tank papa bi emfa emma. Monsoa money betway edi juman betway say any aye soko. The betway cash out just got way better. Enhanced early partial and auto cash out feature let you cash out your bets very early. You cash out a portion of your ongoing bet, or even set your bet to cash out automatically. And all this is just to give you way more control over every thrilling bet you place. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Not for persons under 18. Betway. Get way more. Na ene doc ewa ha na moa uofie sometimes u sugar levels ewa se ewo mu a wetimi a check u BP wetimi a check and yewo machines are very easy to do that ubitimi on your own. And I know Mapan Medical Supplies omo ba ha ema ye hu se ene omo de on call glucometer aba and a strips eka on call glucometer and strips no mo ye promotion. So when you be a wa utimi a test to sugar level very very easy. I don't say you go so a di carbohydrate di nioma bibreno ni na sugar content in your system and air build it up. And you need to check na they be put you in shape. Visit any pharmacy near you for an on-call glucometer promo pack and get 1 on-call glucometer, 2 strips and 1 lancet at a discounted price of 410 Ghana cedis instead of the retail price of 520 Ghana cedis. Inti uko jwaso a obehwe no 520 bi moton no ba nei o mateso de about 410 cedis. A promotion omo eye. If you already use an on-call glucometer, all you need is the on-call glucometer strips promo pack. You get 2 on-call strips and 1 lancet at a highly discounted price of 298 Ghana cedis instead of the usual 350 Ghana cedis. Enough to last you for 3 months. Inti, get yours now and save more. Me pacho kai say on-call meter is in small size, accurate and very easy to use. On-call strip is the most affordable in Ghana. It is a US technology and has been approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. And leading pharmacies in Ubinyabi Ato. O pedudwe tudia from Mapan Medical Supplies Limited. Omo number ni 0508 409 506 0508 409 506 and 0508 409 521 0508 409 521. Na only one into me in the encomo. In studio, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, former MP Lejokuku, former Deputy Health Minister, and currently CEO of the National Health Insurance Authority, Malik Basintali, a Deputy National Communications Officer, Edema NDC. He is a deputy to Sami Jemfi, as many of you know, in Timon Shannonson, MIA. Malik.
Obi.
Membrana.
Just to respond to.
Yes.
Very importantly, Obi, to begin from just the Northern Fraternity on Komoya Tree. Oh, say, uti doc on Komona. Make us on board the Bakwa. Ya diama, the northern sector of the country. Okasa close to 17 minutes. Adioka and say free SHS and nursing training allowance.
Also, the Akanomaya November
4th. I could decide to sit here. Namaka say, as general policies are NDC, single spine can it affected all corridors of the country. He has already done so. It affected all, sectors of the country. Those are general policies to mention. But in the discussion, no, I situated it in the context in which Nana Kumia described the vice president,
Asempa FM.
and that is how I wanted the discussion. Inti mistete niema ya yediama the Northern Fraternity, and it's still on record. Said Dr. Bahomian Timim Bosti Adebako, Agentro, Okason Besi irrigation dam, Kakraka one krum, Wali.
Then Pualugu Diana.
Yes,
Pualugu Wale.
It's just after on the lane there.
Okay.
Ako Kate sought for it, and there, and to quote Muamu programming, and there, Ekosiisen. Balugu irrigation, Ekosiisen. Okaso Besi watermelon factory, Wali on one chrome. Ekosiisen. Because they farm watermelon, into some base Sinica cracker, and he promised them in 2019, just before the elections. Boss show share in Damango, Okaso Bemaye textile factory. Ekosiisen, Besinde. You won't be bisa. Wanam as a shank for to the extent. Say, Okoshe Malishegu, it's a suburb in Tamale, Bosse. Who say Omoasa Seno, I say, fango oil, Eshasia, into Mbeba by ye explorative, works, Ekosiisen. Intergent Troa was share, the northern sectors of this country. Be bien who bet me and such as say, Omonomoye. But President Mahama bet me. I quoted the Tamale airport, and I wish to let us pay strict attention to it.
Okay.
Project, loan facilities, we had the buyer's credit and the commercial credit facility. In 2016, on 25th October, and it's in the 25th October Hansard, saw two credit facilities here at the Omulewa Parliament. One was a Tamale Airport redevelopment project. Between GOG and a company from a South African company, Santander, Banco Santander. Spanish, right? Banco Santander and affiliates. That was the first one. That was a buyer's credit of about $56 million. That was to start full works of this particular airport facility, and that was a redevelopment project. The phase 2 was a $70 million project between GOG again and Quires Galvao, a Brazilian company. President Mahama Nkasa and a two and Amoko Konyasa facility buy. So they were to add that of Quires Galvao to Banco Santander. What is Spanish? Banco Santander, so 56 million to 70 million. And then there was an additional $24 million to construct, that is to redevelop the phase 1 and construct the phase 2. Abayibaye, through some means, and nobody can explain, they took off Banco Santander out of the agreement. A loan facility that was passed on the 25th of October 2016. Banco Santander, which was $56 million, and replaced it. However, Curious Galvao, Musi Airport, their $70 million and $24 million was still intact in the project. Until they then acquire MPP project. A project whose sword was cut in 2016. There are parliamentary handouts to show the loan facility by government of Ghana on the 25th October 2016. And one company, the major company in it, Curious Galvao, a Brazilian company, Omunomugususi Airport, they constructed the till this end and there. Just because one of the credit facilities are which was the buyer's credit, because Curious Galvao for the was a commercial credit facility. The buyer's credit number society, it's a son of the Moamo company thereby, and that is the UK you are quoting, to add on to the major stakeholder, which was Curious Galvao in this particular contract. Most project near Modia, then acquire Modia. So the Tamale International Airport project, please, is the brainchild and property of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and uko siremu be bia ye bona baso because obia nim ahemfu nim eyim kola nim man nim obia nim say a NDC4 project. Into that matter must not be brought again. And then Otachi on the banks issue. Was it 2015? BOG4 Ghana government ye ma banks be it a capital bank sikebi and yam follow up and check it ye nim say bank ni gu ena ye ma musika. In finance, ye free be the discount window. It is triggered when banks are defaulting. And uko USC bebia, UK, US bebia, the governments support banks. Also, you support you, my brother, no mugu. That's a nipa no go ahead and support you. Nipa na jina na name you no soro. Sam rene na nke wose support you. We support them when they are defaulting. And that is the discount window. It is legal in finance. Every banker will tell you. In 2016, yes, supporters our banks, we are supporting them to stand on their feet and still maintain all these workers that were working there. Say cleaners, say tellers, say watchman for, say managers. Na say Osika as a Ghana government. Na sika share baby. Na emphasize sika ni nyehwe. Na say bank ibegua yebe render close to 10,000 people unemployed. Emphasize sika no so bank no mokena. That was the discount window we implemented. Now, okay, say so challenges in say so. You have soon forgotten that in 2017, not all the banks were collapsed because they defaulted. And your banks in collapsed because they were defaulted. Some acquired the licenses illegally. Beige Capital, Construction Bank, they had issues with their licenses, and some of them acquired it in 2017 under your regime. And the banks no collapse here. And yes, omunyina no montibe meet that particular threshold. And yes, omunyina ena they were operating at a loss in this country. Many of them were started under WAW administration as a government. And there are many who disenkomoyi on banks issue. WAW Bank of Ghana, Omo ran a loss of close to 50 billion. Say, and the Mungo Gusa Bank, because you are the helm of affairs. Momo Bank of Ghana, you are running a negative equity of over 44 billion. And there I say, Momo Bank of Ghana illegally, more writing off loan Amodema Abanyi without parliamentary approval into that entire financial Bank of Ghana system, and there it's an entire criminal entity. And for the good news of it is that crime, any expiry date, Malik
Basintali, any attaining. Right. And remember me, any other business. I mean, yes.
No, you have to.
Because as a future potential lawyer, only say assembly of our yes. In fact, Senamika, I didn't want to belabor the point, but Senamika, it was a politics, we all are wishing, so we all get to a level where we don't argue about the whether a road road has been done under government or not, but we look at the kilometerage. Hey, that's what I say. Because Obi, the dumbest president, president on Bonama Crow or you see, or by the president, still at least some 1,000 kilometers in 4 years. You know what I mean? It will be difficult for some president to come to Ghana. Water. Either on treat or invest $1 in water. But what is a baby? So to say we've not done anything enough, even from the word go, if I start entertaining, it will be pettiness. Say me last me call Yana hear me we Alafi Bonzali nai. Fly over me fast so I mean Tamale view kakra. It was built under this regime. Obi me boa.
Tamale interchange.
Yes.
Not interchange, flyover.
Flyover. Okay.
Yes. Obi. You know, I get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And these are the little things that makes a community transform. I mean, Sebi said fly over Abrochi, and I went to Abrochi, and then will be. It started under. Is it Rolling Stone? There were some. Kufo brought some. These are countries transform, whether I like it or not. And the Uzi Enyashia says I didn't say any south there. Obi dormitories. If you contact Ministry of Education, the number of dormitories because of this free SHS pressure now buying dormitories are SEC to add to the schools. Who taking northern sector? I will not be surprised if you have less than 20 dormitories, new ones which have been built for them. Infrastructure trying to beef up the numbers. So it's quite weird. Look, I was an MP. Tamale teaching, they did not stop at phase 2. There was a phase 3. We passed loans when I was in Parliament and they go for. So there's a lot of work still going on, even at Tamale Teaching Hospital. And my brother, there's a lot we've done. If you see young company records, that's exactly what the 10-12 months of the after the November 4th will be about. And to Onya, you should say, exactly, just be calm. Because it's a whole journey. It's like
it's a marathon, eh?
Exactly. Also, you this a sprint. Now this year, the records. Only say, who got 2 exams? No, him say, Yamau 6 hours for the paper. After 30 minutes, you see where we are. There are 2 things. If they say, oh, I'm about to only 2 things. And if basically records says, see how you end off in recorder. It's too early.
Dabi. Now say where your prelims. And I'm where your prelims the medical.
The real action
is coming.
You see, said the bottom line for all these politics we do is to see an improvement in the lives of our people.
Yes.
But one thing which can deny our people of improvement, even after many years of governance, corruption or misappropriation or mismanagement. And if you realize that one person leading one area could have close to 100 million Ghana cedis, either go underwater or areas that benefited the person and his cronies, and not for the purpose, you should be alarmed for the country, no matter the party you belong to. Obi, are you getting it? Because what it means is that money that came from Bank of Ghana is our money, taxpayers' money. It was meant for good, like you are saying. But these are the people who channeled something meant for good, which was meant to preserve jobs, because it was misapplied again. People have lost their jobs, they've lost their livelihoods, and we've also gone back because that money could have solved some problems. Obi. And so when you take countries like the Congo, there are some countries in Africa, the only reason why they are still the same after all this is say, although Sika free Kromono, it does not go into the town and its people. And see, one shot, your politics no be prayer. And then Uncle found the share go. And see, say, my brother Basitali should be interested, not only this gentleman, and I don't know him, I'm not interested, and yet he going to jail and a maminiji. Apparently, he paid some 30 million Ghana cedis or so.
Sure.
Obi, now me bomb man say he could pay all. Not that so that at least we can get something back as a country. Look, kidney care. The last time I was on a program, when we calculated for renal disease, if we had about 27 million Ghana cedis, the 700 patients or dialysis, it can pay for a year's care. So the money that this gentleman alone took is the lives of kidney patients for 3 years. This is how we have to see the development. So my passion on these things is not necessarily about which party time they see it, but the fact said it is only when 2-3 go to jail that those who are handling banks now will know say, "Ochi now call BH now amount sika, and yet our day, Obi." And you see, if you look at the audit reports that came out on the banks, the reason why they were struggling, bebree bad corporate governance practices, bebree mismanagement, obi banking law says single obligor limit. Don't overexpose yourself with one person. 50% of the bank asset they man loan. In fact, baku the man loan. Board need to be friend part of the say. Can you imagine? Some of us don't enjoy these luxuries. A whole customer, udi banker, unamna, BBI fine. Untia, na bank ni kwa to be friend no catch say oh yes udi pay bi kakraba. Na obi on phone buy it be throw letter e ma the business for say mo fa unyan nkasa na ho hwe kakra. But on a more serious note, Obi, all these practices, the only way someone heading a bank today will not endanger the jobs of others is if already say people are going to jail or are paying back the monies because the country systems are working. And I just want my brother to know, and if the part of our bad corporate governance and now or the cronies in age, now woman is kind obia niwa or tinemwa sure so obe behaving himself, he will further dig a big hole. You get it? And so these are some of the things. And by the way, BOG, I know it's politics. It's a time word kakra, but Addison has never been operational with money. Addison's debt, bebre no kosha, are buying debt on the fiscal. I have far from fiscal book. Say my enda who books so the IMF conditions to pass. It's technical losses. And the things we use watch say he knows financing me more than me. But Addison lost in say Ebia Capital Bank. Our investment was South Africa. The expectations of generating revenue, but Scana was bad investment. Addison didn't do any of that. Addison through expected interest on some money cinema through haircut. Even Cocoa Board, that's because 1 year titino, yes, cochi from two fiscal income loans, debt, and our bank was a kind debt one. IMF no, and to shift from the fiscal books to the monetary books and to do BOG. Obian can now imagine the statement, canon doors, and say canal balloon. I be a friend say you share from finance. I bet you know. And see, sebi, and yes, why subaya wemu koya here, omudi kaya aba, and that is why largely people like Addison, he speaks with confidence. If he says you go, sebi the whole cano maintain us. Sebi, uncle governor Bia, work on some investment with Ghana's money. I say or the scammer are buying to solve a crisis and a social crisis. Obi, Uncle the film no, about Johnny, any or Chinano or appear before court. No judge will be afraid to jail him or something. You get it? So, let me, brother. The point I want to make is that largely, I know both parties mean well, but as for comparing the two gentlemen, is the way to go. I'm happy to say we've started with that journey, so that Enukabema peripheral, never to say insults in tribal, now, as citizens, the more the politicians argue based on substance, the more likely things will go well. But if a koyenyama enya about then or yama nipana, nipa benya to me, now so ushapa on kaidi or catch also behama. Now, Michelle be our one off say, yet we are still committed to sustaining the nursing allowances. We are still committed to sustaining our support to the senior high school, and most importantly, we are committed to sustaining power. Doing so will never come back. That's not to say that when James comes back, it will come back. But that's not also to say that when he comes back, it will come back.
Ekosiisen is high as Empire FM. It will do any other business now. Yeah, the NM common abba area 19 minutes after 6 when you check your time.
Obi,
yes.
I can make 2 way for Hokakra.
Yes, I am.
Just 2 minutes. You see, on technical losses, okay, topics no. But you see, printing 44 billion for the government without parliamentary approval, which exceeds 5% of the previous year's revenues, any technical loss, any incompetence. Printing additional 28 billion without parliamentary approval, and again exceeding the previous year's 5% revenue threshold, and also nye technical loss. Incompetence. Writing off a bad debt of about 50 billion. Okay, without parliamentary approval. When the BOG Act has taught you as governor say, and Sana will be writing off the debt of government, no, we hear parliamentary approval by a simple majority, at least 2/3, and yet technical loss, misconduct, misdemeanor, and indiscipline. In all of this, Mr. Ogoboy, you can't technical loss. Say you piangu no books mo. It is even a bad accountant. And a better now say you pian obi loss and begu books mo, because just like a medical doctor, idea a very important to you. Your credibility and your integrity. And so our surgical tools now the age man, accountant, the surgical books, and the books of record. And so he will never allow them to push on a debt. And that is why Ubisa Addison said, why the courses are lost now? He has no answer to give. It is because of unknown misconduct, misdemeanor, and indiscipline. And in Repamuno, we will pursue this case to the latter. Ode 64 million at their service workers. What's a technical loss? 64 million on car maintenance. How is that a technical loss? By incompetence.
But in that case, the pursue and no.
Yes,
64 million for car maintenance.
And no one simple America. I've told you the breaches of the law of the act. And no one simple America. But I'm adding this a surplus because I miss all these things. What do you acquire? Any technical loss? What may change a contract sum of a building from 88 million through some means, and then I'm 250 million. Any technical loss? All these things are crime. They're criminology. And I think that, look, the earlier we state it on the face value, the better for all of us. And I'll state this on any platform I find myself. Say, crime, any expiry date. Dr. Addison, he should know, say, or your candidate for jail in the next NDC administration, and we'll pursue this to the latter. That is on that particular and you see, what's your Okoboya? Or say, I miss all this. Addison name say on defo. And into no kasa or confidence,
yeah, based on the statement the Bank of Ghana
the question is posed for me. Let me pose it back to you. What court the chrono witness box before they find him guilty. Now not the thing. It's all you know. Original witness box no more. I didn't. Especially when he pleads not guilty. Now not the thing. Yes, sentencing we are. Now the neko tenaka no na say or shell left and right no who say me kwa.
No kwa na kwa.
Me kwa na me kwa. Afa no who say kai. Asemato. No, don't worry about his confidence. No ube who say obeba from.
Anyways, yenye any other business na yen sorry. And so mo share in short na da ho na say yenya suit hanga bi ewa ha in our studios. You better Dr. Okoboy ase or share around that no say no yeah we
nipa de buy what did you see that say so share around or share dey on one gazanya that's solving the problem
obaha or baby hanging his seat ya wonya bi and all ban was solve it will identify problem or boy I may solve and that's
the problem
that's
and I was solving the problem.
No say boy yin na and
we shall continue na your problem ono be lawyer on
behalf of the team Dr. Okoboy, we thank you so much. I mean it's good if I'm a brighty studio house so come at least oba obenya baby
you quote me na yen hu ade
ni hu ni but essentially
Chambers.
And that's what Doc procured for us. Yeah, that's the Papa Panyamin show. Ekosiisen is the higher Sempa 94.7 FM. Yeah, any other business, Dr. Okoboy? Let me start with you. I don't know which. I think the next big issue would be dam spillage and the Ekoso.
Let me take this opportunity to thank Omwa. Yes, spillage dam now. Some communities Omo come on board to support them. One say Bible no say omo fa oha no yen show sympathy.
Sure.
And on occasions any Jesus abano yen for omo yen for omo NGN. Now that is what makes you human. Now Obi, the story of the Good Samaritan. These are the times it come to fruition. Say obe umpa say ampa obi ye unya whether I benu ana yenkrenia, it is such times. Enti mamim bo omo kosh che odono me bo omo abaso obi to say minua son of man honorable Ablakwa.
Yes.
Wajina with the people in times of difficulty. Alex Hotoje or me Madame Fopa and also was stand with the people in times of difficulty. First Sky. Sawa pano di nyakupo meshandi bia. Ono ana kolebuna me board chama obwa kidney patients.
Sure.
Or see over 500 houses. One establishment person. Nyaminshano. Mido kasai ya Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And also personally about 160,000 Ghana cedis to support. Ibrahim Mahama. Only the trucks do the coil cry. A big crowd better she I know so bois, let you go and no one for Bebre Obi. Now Misso and pay me 5,000 Ghana cedis. Ama one media house.
Okay.
Omo asa omuso omo
GGB cardiac support.
Obi. Ebia onai entimi nkoho. Ebia unti omo kasa obe understanding omo how omo fem. But there odi sika na bibi kwa eno be help the situation. Now the metimi aka advice aka no man say oni mo bi wo ho a just to know for say in such times no so obe num so bia only shikra on heating no answer na obe num
on heating. Okay.
Yes. In fact, heating is a powerful tool in the midst of flooding. Because mwa bi ebe cause diarrhea na ebe how ye fun because bia nsuo no bibia koma na bibi heat ti bi komo. Secondly, so eduane bia obedi no as much as possible ma enda ejasu kakra.
Okay.
Because nipa de betimi ahamu ama wanya yare why sick de ko through your mouth. So once hot no you are safe. And then thirdly, heat now etimi buama. In such times, shelter etimi ye difficult. Obi owa is only to be order no nye. Say be order nye. The only thing I yesuru say cold be cold chest.
Yes.
You know, doctors friend chemical pneumonia.
Okay.
Just say enye bacteria and virus be your microbial pneumonia. Just say more bi na ama wanya infection. By our chemical pneumonia, and no say cold no heat your body. Onipa duano cold ni say bibi eba be proud. Don't know mount the airframe defense system.
Okay.
And a lot of blood goes to your chest. In your beba chest, no instead of air no. Now I start bowa. With time, you know, doctor T chest. Or be say, oh, we want chest infection. But any microbia, a pure chemical pneumonia. Just say a pathophysiology.
And yeah, medicine.
Say Lord do na Dominic amount sign. Now more coty cases be brave. Now you adua studio mo babaka. Now in mababa. It will be source of heat.
Yes.
Is one thing. So more be source of heating. No just cylinder. Ultimate heating aduane is you also jakra enti na camping. Abrofone omo mo camping. They be omo kita source of heat.
Sure.
If you are not sleeping your environment, heat. And guess what? Heat also sends away flies and other insects. How? So in these times, heat is powerful. Any source of heat. And listen, just say, candle the heat I me pekra. Because I know you're shinyama. Now, firewood unsu and you're reliable now.
Okay.
Because it's your bar would be brave for. Enti my own for channel be but me who cylinders. Enti yesu utie me na obetumi a yen to cylinders bebre there. In fact there ya bibi wo su dada. Utimi ni ade. Sure. Ebe buama ya avert a lot of difficulty. Finally no mesre Matien Crawford ma hu say ebe mu pese obunhu nipa ono 14 a we aba and na de waka say ye de waka say obi. There is always an opportunity cost in life. You have only one time. You can decide to use the time discussing what has not been done well or moving directly into action. Let's move into action now. When the crisis is over, then we can have we have the luxury of time to see how well VACO fared, whether there should be civil cases against them or criminal. But now you can say still no obino original trisu and already surviving. Obi that place a honye. Oje no na ukoshe VRA di omoya. Nipa no you are not helping the person. Intimate. Let's now go to action. Let's go to action now. Let's be so involved to make sure say people now are close to their normal lives. That's not to say don't discuss the lessons from the flag. Okay. But if there is a lesson which we need now, like if there's further spillage, there are some lessons now that we have to quickly discuss to help with the next spillage. And the immediate. But never like culpability, never like competence or proactiveness, duty of care, all these things, there will be time for them. It's necessary. Men for we need to nipa wakasa ye de okasa ye de owo mepe a o tie yesese no enye no na ehia no. Me won say mepe development association because of kasa ekora no they even have to issue a statement to address. Ebi ankasa won any time no they could have used it in focusing on the things they've been doing well all this while, like providing tents for their people, making advocates. Let's continue on that part. Now, yes, ebe boye ubahunu uko kana wan kana yia no bisu officer yes you tibodi na wan ka like if
you tino wan kasa utri ho ye be you tibon
exactly into obi o wa ukasa assembly ya wo edi na etwi no na impression ko se wada onye na ejuma ye o ma no so ba I want to catch me so my then we are caught in a web. Whilst the real victims are still suffering. That should not be our direction. And lastly, Obi, my point is that anytime you are criticizing a public official or a non-governmental official, criticize in a way that it brings results. And if you feel, say, VRA, they've not done well with accommodation, tell them, in our mind, you can do tents. 1,000 is not above you. Now VRA can say, oh, okay, on the 200 in the criticism, you have brought results. Not criticism that shows how reckless someone was, and at the end of the day, it ends at that. Intimacy, me brother, why? Many 5,000 by Sebi Ebia. I'm going to election. Chebi on this cat say, Dr. Kobo. Would you over crowd and then tolerate Casa as can you? Say only she on better table this one. But the Casa let your talk be proportional to your contribution.
To the contribution. Malik Basintali, any other business? Yeah, 2 minutes be my name. Sorry, not the idea.
Me nisi kanchase me 2 minutes for panelist. Say this can have time now. And me who time cram me can better. Obi.
Yes.
I'm happy say Okoboy doctor edikasa na fa. I mean kwaya efutu okwanso. First of all, how did we get here? Ode yen fa mampanyi de no ntonche. Mo minister for sanitation. Ye man akwanya say unsympathize and now on my a disaster management blueprint. What were her utterances? I say, Uncle no, and I evacuate an intina flood nabano. So I'm happy with this advice. Why will Minister for Sanitation, I'm Frida? And I can't say me to the people who today do not even know what steps they are taking tomorrow. Obi Waha, and there are many workers say. All the labor for over 45 years in public service. Nina Shegu. Otihwa or Jinesenia, he will put himself together again. Then you come and tell him, say, Monamwa evacuate. Now the question I would have asked her and I said, Wo catch wo tron krata man microphone say omo evacuate no. Evacuate to where? That is the fundamental question. And look, logically, Dr. Kobo what to one be catch will say flood eba into free ufi. Men that is my only place of abode. Into men what's the temporal structures among? Abra here 2 judges. Say you will see a year national cathedral. Omo pedayang mom. Did they write letters to the judges say move free her? They gave them, facilities. Apieti. A disaster. Yanko see temporary buildings among immediately. Within 1 month, they were sorted out. Indeed, how different is the voter region? Indeed, your own ministers and MBOA situation, and their comments are distasteful. Ombe jai kasa, omunjai. Na voter region, no, yanko munko shushenema. Number 2, es mampenyanka sankomodium. Wako oh, A, B, C, D. Mesremo saying she share way now buying what the mamo. Inti will implement them from point to point. That is disaster management. When you kwenya and amon to abana mame. Moya lucky impose mabaha. And can conform be drain semen back. But mabaha me bomb pie say I'm paraphrasing. I can't quote. I'm paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing. And I may say, or say, me bomb pie say mrepemuno dachibi mobe to abadi amame. He said that. No, I'm happy with your comments on it. They are distasteful comments, and we must condemn them in real terms. And so I am happy, sir. One Kasano. Those 2 individuals, especially Mr. President and his Minister for Sanitation, are boye in this particular uncommon. Now, Enra, me te say one of Musiyos nibi, eka say a natural disaster. Look, it is not and will never be a natural disaster. Minister Towase, it is not and will never be a natural disaster. Obi, Okobe Jami, Obi, it is not a natural disaster. Man-made. Natural disaster in this modern era. Dear engineers and a yen niche shabia de boyan. I.e. earthquakes. Till date, engineers have not been able to find out why there are still earthquakes. But yenimni cause flooding. Spillage of the dam at what rate, when and how to spill the dam. Okay. And then Uncle Ye Intina for the first time. There was a mass spillage all at once. And there are many who can say they are still spilling the dam. Why? And then Uncle Ye. In all of this, Niakosono, I wish to also avert our minds. It has moved into other regions. You can say Oti region for bre. Bono East bre. Savannah uko Bipe submerged in water. Salaga Yejiho Makango is submerged in water. Yejiabono East, they are submerged in water. And so many other communities as a result of somebody's negligence. Inti Mesremo Ekwambia umbefaso amaye a disaster management plan. And that is why we were pushing for you people to declare a state of emergency in all affected areas. Because you see, the state of emergency, it means that an ad hoc committee has been set up to look at the situation. And that ad hoc committee will be responsible for the day-to-day briefing. To send COVID-19, when it was declared a national emergency, a global emergency, there were reviews. Now Monday, Wednesday, that was a roadmap he was given. Why? Why are the people of Volta region so different? Are they different? Are they omonya Ghana for? Omonya affected omonya Ghana for? What is so big? And then Dr. Okoboy would declare state of emergency. I bet some finances one. Just mount a podium, append a presidential signature that these places have been declared in line with Article 31 or so of the Constitution, and then declare state of emergency. Say you hear moye, uncle for the beba 5,000 we are okay, and can you bottom be free? And there's an international community that will bring it. Why? Sierra Leone for. And we declare state of emergency. Abraham omunya mad slide. My penny baumia, do large baumia. You be say why in a better cargo plane no more $1 million ako on no pejana surface. On Odienim, every $1 million cost Sierra Leone. Why? Because there was a state of emergency declared. Adena mampeni yes sir. Adena etoda unitri more than the man angona force. You see the people are affected. Declare a state of emergency. Mankofome boamo obi enyamu na mo bo de ura. Aka companies bebre ho komu humpo se bibi koso. Meboa. You media men. Mona moboa kakra ayi advocacy and ankrofo hu. So once the president adds his voice to it and declares an emergency, it goes international. UN for nyina beba, AU for nyina beba, ECOWAS for nyina beba. What are you waiting for? Declare that state of emergency now.
I just remember say international airport from the time I saw plane to call Mecano.
Yes.
Plane beyond into direct.
Yeah, because that was our last term in office, 2016. It flew on 31st August, 2016. 31st August.
After that,
2016.
24 hours international experience.
No. It was Obi. That was Hajj. Even now, even for Hajj, and even till now, you see. Who are international airporter? Let me just analyze this. And who are international airporter? Who are international airporter?
International airlines that they can take off from Tamale.
Okay. And so that's it started in 2016. That's so it's about
Ekosiisen, a higher FM.
It started in